for me, a sign that when I see it, for me it's a positive affirmation, don't ask me why, is a rainbow. And also finding money, just randomly finding money. And as soon as I got to Hollywood and I was going to the Comedy Store, I saw both. When I got to the street I was going to, there was a restaurant called Rainbow, and second of all, right below my feet was $5. So for me that was a sign that I was supposed to go there. But here's the thing, I get to the Comedy Store, and I was told I was booked, I'd prepared a show. But when I get there, everyone is really mean, everyone's confused, and apparently it's some kind of blotter. And basically what I got from this place is basically they're just, because Jim Carrey, performed here a few times, and there's a famous YouTube video of Jim Carrey on that stage, their ego is just huge. So they do a lottery, and when I called, they basically said, oh, you got to show your face here for 5 to 10 years to even get a chance, a maybe of being showcased or actually getting a slot or getting a decent shot. And being, an experienced comedian and having done podcasts and theater since I was a little kid, it just felt kind of ridiculous, but I understood it was definitely a business decision. But what I realized is I believe I was meant to go there and experience that. But something I remember, when I was talking to the owner, trying to get to know him, he said something to me. I said, yeah, I've performed at different primarily African American clubs in Inglewood. You can watch my YouTube videos, etc. And he turned to me and he said, oh yeah, those clubs, they like to have white guys up there. They think it's funny. It's not really a big deal. It's not anything people are going to be impressed by. But if you know anything about Jim Carrey, it wasn't the Comedy Store that made Jim Carrey famous. It was a show, his first show, called In Living Color, where he was doing skits on television with an all-black African-American cast. That is what really allowed him to showcase his skills, not the Comedy Store, although the Comedy Store was a place where he practiced. And I just thought him saying that was hilarious, honestly, because Jim Carrey made his start performing with African Americans, and that crowd, African Americans, they embraced him, and that was really how he made it. They were the ones that pushed his career forward. So for him to say, oh yeah, that's nothing, that's a big thing. And that's not why I played at and continue to play at black clubs, but, being out in Inglewood, African Americans, they really embrace people, and I hope someday people really get to familiarize themselves with black people, African Americans, because they have good hearts, they're good people, and they feel that anytime they're blamed or a finger's pointed at them or they're shot, it's the main reason is because they're black, and whatever other reasons, those are secondary from them being black being the primary reason. And that's unfortunate. But really, the most important thing I got out of my trip to the Comedy Store was what I realized from that is that everything I need, I already have. So if I could say one thing, sometimes we got to make that long journey, that trip, before we realize that journey, kind of like the book The Alchemist, that journey we go on, it makes us realize that what we have, all we need, we already had. It's back at home, right here. But I had to journey out and go through this experience to realize that everything I need to achieve and get and have and learn everything I want is right here and right here. So what I ask friends is, yeah, the journey's important, but wherever you are, wherever you live, wherever you work, stop for a minute and rather than just being on your blank, blind mind, work, zombie mode, start observing your surroundings. Start looking at people. Open your eyes to where you are now. Because the answer, the opportunity, everything you need is probably right there in front of you. And I still don't know for sure if the journey is necessary. I didn't really want to go, but I knew it was important. I followed my intuition, even though it was a long trip and I was tired. And now I'm glad I did. I don't know if we have to go on the journey, but we might. But maybe you could save yourself the journey, or at least make the journey not as long, by looking at what you have already. Because the answer to what you want to do or trying to do or what you want to gain from life, I guarantee you already got it. It's already there, right under your nose. You just gotta see it. Thanks. This audiobook is a production of American Info.